Hello, this is David with Crimson Homes Photography. Today we're going to talk about sight lines. And when we're taking pictures of space, if there are large objects or things that are kind of blocking the view of the camera, that can kind of hurt the picture. Unfortunately, cameras like superheroes don't have X-ray vision, so it is very important to see across the space. So we're going to go over 7 things that can block sight lines. To see the full 7, click the link in our bio. Okay, the first thing that can block sight lines would be lamps that are not on the perimeter of the room, but are in more the center of the room. We see this a lot with stages. We see it a lot in homes. There will be lamps in the center of the room with big lampshades on them, and they really force you to move one way or the other with the photos and don't allow us to take the best shots of the room. Okay, the second thing that can block sight lines would be tall things on, not necessarily kitchen cabinets, but a kitchen island. When we're shooting across an island, we're really trying to show a lot of times the sink and the stove and the other personality of the kitchen. And if we have a really tall object on the island, it will block the image and cut off the view. So generally, don't put items on kitchen islands that are more than 2 or 3 inches tall. Okay, number 3 is in dens and living rooms, the fireplaces in most cases are one of the major heartbeats and one of the major features of a home detail-wise. If we crowd the fireplaces, they kind of get covered up in the images more than what we want to do. And also, if we put a lot of stuff around the fireplace, it blocks it and cuts it off, and it shows, kind of cuts down on it as a feature. So make sure we give our fireplaces some room to breathe. Okay, the 4th thing that can really kind of ruin sight lines on an image are giant plants, maybe indoor trees. Whether or not they're sitting on a coffee table, they're sitting on a kitchen island, they're just kind of out in the middle of the room, they're kind of random there, but a lot of times giant plants can really confuse the purpose of the image. Okay, the 5th thing are coffee tables. Coffee tables are almost never a problem in an image, but things on coffee tables that are tall, vases, flowers, things that really block. A lot of times coffee tables are in front of fireplaces. They cut off the space. So when a coffee tables, books are great on coffee tables, but don't get too tall with things on coffee tables. Okay, the 6th thing, and this one's a little bit harder to describe. If you have an open floor plan and you have 2 rooms that are connecting, let's say a kitchen to a family area, if we have couches in there or big furniture that are kind of blocking the sight line from one end to the other, those can kind of really alter the view of the space and kind of cut off the space and make it not look as big. So when we have large rooms where you can kind of see adjoining rooms, really pay attention to making sure that you don't have furniture blocking the sight lines. Okay, the last thing, the 7th thing on sight lines is we see it a lot. Really, really tall dining room chairs. A lot of times we do what we call one-point shot, which is straight down the room, straight down the table, and a really tall chair can block the view across. A lot of times we do have to move those chairs out of the way. So if you have shorter dining room chairs, those are a whole lot better to show the space in dining rooms. All right, our summary, sight lines are very important in pictures. Things blocking them are not a good thing. So the 7 things, and I'm going to read my notes here again: lamps that are in the center of the room as opposed to the perimeter, tall things on kitchen islands that block views, furniture and different items that can crowd a fireplace. Giant plants are almost never a good thing. What I would call, tall things on coffee tables. Love coffee tables, but let's keep the stuff lower that's on them. Furniture that is blocking adjoining rooms from being able to see the view from one end to the other. And the last thing that can block sight lines are tall dining room chairs.